Okay. So this was a task which one of the subscriber received, and he was primarily a .NET developer. Then he shifted with Angular, and in Angular he has around 3 years, but overall he has around 5 years of experience. Okay, so doesn't matter like is it like 5 years or 3 years? Now, what is happening like every small MNC to big MNC, even mid MNCs also. So what they are doing after you clear the theoretical part. So everyone knows like theoretical part is not a big deal. We can, so many questions are there. Even my portal or any so many websites are there, which you can remember and you can answer, but that doesn't make sure that you know those concepts and you have practically worked on that, correct? Because it's just a theoretical answer. Within half an hour, how they can determine like do you actually know everything what you are answering or not, right? So there are so many portal, those who have given this kind of test, they might be aware like there are so many portal. Let's say Aptel is there, again I forgot the names. So they will produce test case like this. Okay. And there will means problem statement like this, and you have to solve that in that portal. And there will be a test case already written. Whatever the input they have given, they will specify the test cases also. Like this is the output they want, but it should pass. These are the test cases, right? So according to that, we have to build our solution. So just like that, this is one of the solution. This is one of the problem statements he has received. So if you see the data, so this is the object, okay? And the task was with Angular, so we are going to do it with Angular. But again, JavaScript code will be there. It's not like for the UI display purpose only we are going to use Angular. But majorly like code, whatever we are going to write, it will be in the TypeScript, but same it is in the JavaScript also. So those who are React guys, they can also relate. Same code. Code will be same. Just the display part will be you can do in the React, and Angular you can do it in the Angular. Okay. So uh, guys, can you please don't turn on the video camera? Okay, no need of video. So if you see this object, so now what object we know? Let me just open VS Code. Let me just zoom a little bit. So whatever we know till object. So let's say student obj colon any is equal to curly bracket. What the definition of object and whatever we know like key value pair data. So key will be name colon something value. Correct. What else we can have? Let's say address. Inside address, again, we can have an array of object or something. Correct. City, something, state, something. We can have array of object. Again, variations, I'm just going to inform company. And in company, we can have again inner object. So these are the various things we know. But if you have this kind of object, whatever we are in sync, these are kind of the object where key is also dynamic. Okay. If someone asks you to print the value like this, it is very simple. Like student object dot whatever the property you need to print that you can access. But what if these keys are also dynamic? Okay. This name, address, company, this is static. But what if these are also dynamic? So this is the scenario where we have, and normally this kind of object you get to see when you are working on a product application, because in product we have multiple client based on the multiple client based on different attributes we get, right? So keys are also dynamic. Okay. Now let me explain this task. Let's just get this. So this is the object. Okay. Now in this object, if you observe, we have some key like this. P dot data one, P dot data two, then S dot data one, then D dot data one, P dot data three. And these are the regular one, contact and the name. So what was mentioned is like these things are static. In that object, let's say employee or something object is there. Contact number and name is static. You are always going to get the contact number and the name, and you just have to display it. But for the remaining field, what they have said, first you need to group the common attributes. Means let's say p dot p dot. So p dot we have three times. So you need to display something like this. Title will be p. Inside that sub items will be data one is the key, data one is the key, and data one is the key, like that. Okay. So here you can see we have to group. So now this is kind of a group by. Those who are from the backend people, they might know what is group by. So group by as in common things we have to group, and then different values we have to showcase. So data one, data two, data three. These are the various attributes under P, right? So this is how your UI should look like. We should have a P inside that. Whatever the various items we have starting with P that we have to display, like data one is equal to this value. Data two has data one, data two, just the example they have given. Here we might have some property. Okay. Then S will be there. So you can see S is again kind of a parent and child is only one, data one. Then we have D. D is P as a P as in again simple single entry is there for P and we have one value for that. So this is how you need to print the value. Okay. Let me just unmute. So task is clear. What we need to achieve. You can unmute now. Anyone have doubt in this? Then we will talk about the solution. How we are going to achieve this. This is very simple, but how we are going to group, and in that group we will display the particular properties only. Task is clear to everyone? Anyone? Any doubt?
Clear.
Okay. So let's get started on the solution now. Before that, anyone know the solution or anyone want to try like how we can achieve this? Anyone know? There are multiple approaches to this. Anyone knows anyone have any approach? From this object, we need to display information like this. Solution can be in React, Angular, or JavaScript, also anywhere, because same approach is going to be available in three technologies. Anyone want to try? Okay. So let's see now how we will do it. Just give me a second. I'm getting call. Okay. So first thing, like first we need to check like with the starting like this p dot. We have three different properties which is having p dot start, right? So we need to write a code where we can group, we can check like how many properties are there, different keys are there with matching p. Okay. So first let's try to do that. Now we have this object. So let's create a method get values, something name we will give. Okay. Now this is an object, right? Now I need to get an array of keys in my object. Okay. So we have a directly method in object. So constant keys list is equal to object dot keys. Okay. This method is already there in JavaScript also, right? So we need to pass the object. So what this will give, we will get the array of keys, means p dot data to whatever the keys we have, we will get the array. So let's just debug. Let's just create a button, or let's just button. On this button click, we will call that function. Click. Okay, so let's try now. So on click of get value. So if you see over here, we have got the array of keys, whatever the keys we have or field name we have in the object, that array we have got. Now from this array, we need to create a separate array of whatever the different fields we have starting letter. Like P, we should have an array of P, then we should have an array of S, then we should have an array of D. Whatever the different we have. Okay. So now what Abhishek, don't use the Abhishek. How do we disable this? Okay. So what we have got is array of keys we have got. After that, we need to group, we need to check like how many different keys we have. So if we start with P, okay. So now we need to iterate on this array. Then we need to check like the first character, whatever the, what it's an array of string, right? So we need to check the first character. You can see all are starting with first character, then we have dot. So first character we need to check. And again, like it will include, it is including dot or not, because this contact and name we need to ignore. We just need to check for the field name where we have dot, because contact and name, these are straightforward. We don't need to consider that. Okay. So let's try to write that now. So after that, what we need to do, let's use the normal for loop first, or let's use for each. Okay. For each on this loop. Now here we need to check like if whatever the key element we have, it contains dot or not, because those only field we need to consider. So here an if statement. So element dot includes, we need to check like if it includes dot or not. So I'm adding dot over here. So if in the particular element we get dot, this condition will get true, right? So let's just check till now if it works or not. One by one step we will go. So on click, okay, we didn't add anything. Let's add a debugger. Now let's add a debugger at number 26. So see, element dot include dot. So it got true because p dot data one. Current element is p dot data one. First element. We have it. Continue, continue, continue. Now contact element contact is there. Now if we see, we don't have dot over here. So we have got false. So first whatever the logic we have said, that is done. So we are just filtering if that particular key has dot in it or not. After that, we need to create a separate array. Okay. So I'm creating an array where, let's name it as a group elements, any square bracket is equal to empty. Okay. Now what we need to do, we need to push the starting letter into this array. Okay. So what I will do, first we need to check also, like, because we don't want to duplicate the element also. So P is once, right? So we should not be inserting P again into this. So for that, first we need to check constant is exist is equal to. This is kind of a long code, but I'm taking this approach because everyone should understand this, because there are, as I said, like there are so many approaches, shortcut approaches are also there, but I'm just going with the long for, so that each step will be clear and everyone will be able to understand. Okay. So now what I'm doing, first I'm checking from this array, like whatever the element I'm going to push is already there or not. So I will be using find. So previously what we use, include. So include and find, these are the synonyms, like we can use it. Okay. So here m equal to, what we need to check, element and first character dot. Now we have a string, right? From that string we need to get the first character. So we have a method caret, and what we need to pass, its index 0, first index only, right? So if in my array group element, I have the particular element or I have the particular letter, I will get it. Otherwise, I will get undefined. So we have to write the code with undefined. So if is exist equal to undefined, then we have to write it. What we need to do? We need to push that particular character to this array. So this dot push. It's not okay. Sorry, this dot missing. This dot push, what we need to push, that particular character, means this. Wait, let me just think my approach. We will have a group of P, S, and D. Then just give me a moment. I also forgot what a suggestion I have given to him. So here we will have the group of element Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we are going on the right path. So instead of pushing particular character, what we will do, we are going to create an array of object like this. So I'm just explaining you the object first. Obj is equal to what we are going to achieve is we are going to have an array of object. Okay. And in that we will have group key. Here we will have, let's say P. Then we will have second property that will be sub items. And here we will have again array. Sorry. And here we will have key value pair data, means data 1 colon this value over here. This is first element. Then data 2, whatever the keys, whatever the various after dot what we have according to P. So that we will put it over along with the value. So this kind of object we need to create, and that we will push it to this element. Okay. So remember this. So here we have got the first, what we can say, first element. Okay. So in this for loop, what we are going to do, we are just going to extract the different means unique characters, which is starting with dot, means we will get P, S, and D from this element. Okay, so let's just add a debugger after this and let's see if we are getting the proper array. Yeah, Murli, just let me complete because I also didn't do this. I suggested this approach, so I'm going with that. Once we are done, then again we will discuss. Okay, let's try now. Okay, on click of it, now element is there. So now if you see currently this array is empty. So obviously we will get it undefined. So we will push it, that first character. In group element, we have got P. Now again, second element. So now second element is again P, but P is already present in our this array, unique array, right? So it won't go inside that because it didn't got undefined. So like that, let me just continue. So now in group element, you can see we have got the unique element that is PSD. Okay. So what we achieve, like after this for loop, what we have got the unique elements, whatever the unique elements we have in this object, starting with P dot and everything that we have got. Okay. Now we have the unique element inside this array. Now second for loop, we will use it on this element. Okay. Wait, let me think again. So we have got the unique starting element with this. Then we need to again map on the keys and then we will get the values. Just give me a second. I should have asked him for some solution. P dot data. So here we will get the unique keys, whatever the starting is letter is there. Okay, let's try. So with this for loop, we have got the unique elements we have. Okay, starting letter. Okay. After that, we will use this array. And again, we will use an for loop. Let's go with for each only. So we will use this over here. Okay. Now, so here we are going to iterate a for loop on this element. Okay. Now in this, what we need to do, keys element is already there. Dynamic keys array. Okay. So here we need to filter elements which are starting with this particular element, because in this we are going to have, let me just print that so that we will have a representation. So in this element, we are going to have element like this. Okay. So let's say for loop is there. So for first P is there. Now in element P is there. Now what we need to do in keys array, we need to find the keys which has the starting letter P. Okay. So let's try that now. So constant start keys element is equal to. So we need to filter it out from here, but we will get the object and p element. We will have p. So we will get three element. Let's first write from keys. We will filter m dot includes element. So from array of whatever the object keys we have, from that we are trying to filter the first element, let's say p. So here we will get three elements. Okay. Now we have got, we will get an array of three elements, that is these and this. Okay. Now after that we need to create a new array. So let me create new list colon any square bracket is equal to empty. Now here we need to create object first. We decided like we will create an object like this. So let's just copy this constant obj is equal to this. Okay. Now, so this is the object we are going to create. So element will be this. So in group key, we will have element. Okay. Then now we need to have a sub elements. So first, let's keep it as an empty. Let me just format. Okay, so once we debug now, then you will be properly able to understand because you will be able to see. I am writing so that I can imagine that how it will work, but you will be able to understand once I run. Okay, so we have created object with element. Then here we are going to get the array of element, right? Array of whatever the elements we have. Okay, now we will use for each loop again on those element, means this, and in this object dot sub item is okay. This is an array of, this is going to be array of object again. So constant new sub item obj item is equal to curly bracket. What we decided data one and means key name and the value name. So here we are going to get p dot data, but we don't need p. So we just need the data. Okay. Let me just add a debugger and let's see till now how we get it. Let's just debug. So on click of get, let me remove the first. This is done. We don't need this over here. So let's click on get value. Okay. Now just pay attention. So in the group element, we have got the unique keys, that is PSD starting letter. Okay. Then we are going to filter the properties we have with matching that. So in start keys element, you can see p dot data one, p dot data two, and p dot data three, what we have got that we have decided, right? So we need that starting letter, whatever the keys we have with starting letter p that we have got. Okay. Now here we have created an object with group key as S. Okay. Now in sub item, we need to push data one colon, whatever the value we have in the object. Okay. So now from this, we need to remove this p dot data also. Then we will get the key. So first two character we can remove. So string method we need. So we will replace. So in element, we will get what we will get p dot data we will get in the element. So here in element, we will get something like this. Okay. Now p dot data, this is nothing but the key which is already present in our object. Okay, so we need the value, but while creating the object, we just need the data one, not the p1, p dot data. We don't need this, just the data we need, right? So we need to get rid of that p dot also from the key. So, so first element we will get p dot data. From this, we need to remove this p dot. Okay. Anyone remember to remove the first two character? Element, let's try. Key name is equal to element dot remove. Let me just add a data type to this so that it will suggest the methods. String dot. Anyone remember what is the method? We need to remove p dot. First two character we need to remove from the string. What is the ideal method we should use? Replace is there. Anyone? Delete is also not there. Yeah, Murli.
We use slice of 0, comma 1 index
Okay, yeah.
in the
Is also slice or plice? Slice,
splice. I think. Sorry,
slice. Starting will be 0,
0 and then ending this
1, no?
so
No, 2.
1 or 2, no 2.
Two elements we need to remove.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks. So what this will does, starting letter 0, it's just like a splice method, what we do in the array. So starting with 0, this will remove, and up to what position? 2. So 0 and 1, two element, first two element it will remove. Okay. Then we will get a key name. Okay. Now this key name, we have to create an object over here. What we decided, just like this. So now, no, we need because this key is also dynamic, right? So element, now we need to create the dynamic key. Let's try. So key name we will get, then value. Now value we have to get it from this object. So input data, this dot input data, square bracket. What we need to pass? Element, actual field name, whatever we have over here. Key name and the value. Why it is giving error like this? Element has element implicitly has any type, but as a string cannot be used as an index. Input any. We need to provide data type to this colon any square bracket. Okay, it's an object. So now that array will go away. Okay, because we didn't provide the data type, that's why it was coming. So let's try till this now how we, and once we get this object, what we need to do in this object dot sub item, we need to push this new object with we have created. This sub item we need to push. Satyendra, don't use that. What is going on over here? Is not assignable to type newer again. How do we specify data type to this? Any square bracket? No. As any. Okay, fine. So it is like I have Angular 18. So whatever the new rules and set we get when we create the project that are getting applied, that's why everywhere we need to provide the data typing also. Otherwise it will throw the error. So let's start with now. Now we should have a proper element ready. So on click of get value. So first array. So now in group element, we have got what are the various duplicate elements we had, P, S, and D. After that inside. So in start element, we have got the matching character. From P starting, we have got three elements, data one, data two, data three. Now from we have created object. So in object, we have group key as P. Sub item is currently empty because we have created empty array. Now in from on this for loop means whatever the keys, unique keys we have got it from the object, we have got that on this element, we are going to use the for loop. So here key name you can, oh no, This is wrong. We have got P dot. We should have got after that. Only we were wrong. 0 to 2. What is slice doing? Returns a section of the string. Okay. After 0 and 2, we need to start from 2. Slice will get us whatever the position we get. After within that position we will get. So after 2 we need it. So let it be. Let's check it again. Don't worry because we don't use this daily. So we have Google, we Google these things. Okay. So now we were here. Now key name, let's see. Yeah. So now you can see we have got data. So from after 2. So see, slice is a method where we pass the starting character. So after that, whatever the characters we have, it will get it. If you send the one character, how many number of parameter, how many number of string characters we have, it will get it. But after 2, let's say you said 5. So 2 to 5, what number of characters we have, you will get it. But if you pass just the one character, it will like only starting position. There is no ending position. So in key name, we have got data 1. Now, so from this object, we need value this one, value D1, but it is in the D dot data 1. So D dot data 1 is in the element. So here, if you select this, you can see we have got value P1 and that key name is also dynamic. We have got data 1 and in the value, we are going to store whatever the value we have in the object in p dot data 1. See value dot p1. So this object we have created and then this object we are pushing to the sub item array. So first we have got, then second, then third. Now see the object. So group name P and in sub item we have got, this also we need to do like that. Only key name is there in the square bracket. Okay, so this also, because this is also dynamic, na? Just like this key was dynamic. Now here also key was dynamic. So we have to wrap it in the square bracket. This I was going to write, but I was thinking about that splice. So I missed that. Let's try again. Okay. But we missed again thing. We didn't push the object. Okay. So in object, you can see we have got data 1, P1, data 2. So whatever proper object we have got. P, that is the group name, unique is P. And inside that we have got 3 sub items, data 1, data 2, data 3, and value is also different. But we need to push this object also. This whatever the object we have created, now this we need to push to new list. So over here, once we get the, after this for loop, new list dot push, and we will push it. This object, we will push it over here. Let's print this new list also. Br tag. It's an array, right? So we have to make use of the async pipe. Sorry, JSON pipe. But it's Angular 18, so we need to add the JSON pipe also. No, it's not suggesting. Oh my God, why it's not suggesting JSON pipe? Okay, let it be. We will see again. Let's try to print directly array, but it's an array of objects, so it won't showcase anything. We will see it in the console only. Now, on click of get value. So first we have got it. Now after the for loop, we already have a debugger. Let's run it. Okay, so after final debugger we have, now if we hover on the new list, so here you can see we have got one object that is with group name P, and in group name P we have 3 different sub item, data 1, value P1, value P2, value P3. Something is wrong or correct? That's okay, P only. Then S, we have just one element, data 1, value S1. Then in 2, D, we have, wait, here we are wrong. Why we have got 5? In D, why we have got 5? Yes, only.
Because it is due to the include statement in line number. Can you go top little?
Where?
Can you go top? Sorry, the line number 49, the include statement. So we checking the not checking the first element, we checking the all element. So in data also there should be a D present. So it's take all the elements.
In case of D, we are searching with, okay, in case of D, but we are checking with D dot, no?
No,
Include
we
D dot,
checking the
no?
whole key, the
But still, in element, we are going to get D dot, no?
no only D only is there, not dot. We
Okay,
have in
so
that
we are
array.
getting, okay, let me check. Okay, yeah, so here we just have a D, so that's why it is filtering everything. Hmm. How we are going to deal with that? Okay, so in their element, in their object now, it was not having, it was not just like with data, something value was there, but I created like this. But again, our solution should be dynamic. Mhm. What should be solution now? Everyone is getting right. So because in the last element, when it comes to D, we are just finding with dot, right? So it will search all the, because in every key we have D. See, that's why we are getting all the 5 characters, all 5 keys. And for D, it is getting wrong. Hmm. I should have really asked him the solution. I just only giving, but I also not remembering now. This is breaking. Anyone else getting anything? In case of D, it is breaking. Okay, let me just change it. I will ask solution for him. Then again, we will connect. So let's say in P we have, basically their object was very proper. It was not P or data one. Something proper object was there. Let's say, let's make it mobile. Let's say RAM, camera, then processor. S will be with laptop, resolution, and D, let's say camera.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do only simple only thing. You can check with include. We can take the first character and then we check the first character. That is the simple thing we can do it.
Here
In
or
line. Yeah, here yeah, in the line we don't check all the character. We check the first character only. We can finish it. M dot
okay,
character
instead
at
of
zero.
include. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, sorry.
character
Right.
at zero.
So include, instead of include, we can just compare with the first character. That is also correct. That is the proper solution then. Because include will search whole thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So start with we have, na? Yeah,
Yeah. Start.
start with will also work, na?
Uh, I'm not sure. Maybe we check that. Yeah,
Yeah,
debug.
start with should work. Let's try. Thanks for suggestion. Okay, so this. So now we have 3 element. Let's remove this debugger. We don't need it now. So first is like for P, we have got 3, then continue. Now second is say S. we have got yes only. Then for D, we have got again 1. So this is work fine. Continue. So now if we hover, for P, we have got 3 elements, data 1, data 2, data 3. Then with S, we have got 1. And then with D, we have got 1 element. Okay. So whatever the object we thought that is created. Now comes to the printing part. So printing part is relatively easy because we have got how we know like how object is there, so we can easily print it. So now let's create a row column 2. So in 2 we will take h3. Now this call we will repeat. So let's use the let's add the common module, or let's go with for loop because React people will also understand. So just like map, we have for loop in the Angular. So for loop on this new list, because here we have the proper data. So new list, inside that we will have our call. So here, so item will be like this array of object is there, right? So we need to print group key. So that is okay. Spelling mistake is there. Group key. We need to print it over here. So that will be item dot group key. Okay. After this group key, so column, let's display after this only. Let's make it 5. And here again we will have ULLI because sub items are multiple. So inside that again for loop. And here item dot, what do we have? Sub items. On sub item we need to use the for loop. Sub item. Okay. And here we will have li, and here, and in over here. Now this key is also dynamic, right? How do we got it? So this thing like key inside sub item, this object key is also dynamic. Sometimes data 1, data 2, right? So see, this key is also dynamic. So now this key also need to display. So this key is dynamic. So how we will print it in HTML? Because in sub item directly we will get the key, but we sub item. How we can display in sub item? We need the key name dot. Let's create the method and get the key name. Get key. So here we have the object. Okay. In sub item, we are going to get the object, but from that object, we need the key. Okay. So that's why here I'm just creating a function. Let's say pj colon any. And what we need, we will call this function over here, and we will pass the object, and what we will do, return. We need to get the key also. We know like it is going to have only one object, one key value pair data. So object dot keys, we will pass obj over here. It will return array of object square bracket of 0. So we will display key over here. Okay, let's save and check if it is displaying the proper key name. Yeah, so P, data 1, data 2, data 3 there, and S is also there. Now we just need to display the value also. Now value is also dynamic because, so now value, let's say colon, sub item is an object. So from this object, square bracket, we need the key name. Key name we are getting from over here. So this we can pass it over here. Let's save and check. So here you can see we are getting it. So let's try to compare now also. So now here you can see with starting P, we had three keys: data 1, data 2, data 3. So data 1, value P1, data 2, we have value P2, and data 3, we have value P3. Then S, data 1, value S1 is also there. And with D, we have data 1 and value D1 again is there. So see, whatever like title, sub items that we have carried out. Okay. So let me just explain again. So see, this was an object. Okay. Inside that, our goal was we need to group the starting character. That should be our title, means parent name. Like this parent field is P. Then inside that we will have sub item like D1, data 1, data 2, and data 3, starting with P, right? So first thing what we have done, using object.keys, we have get the keys array from that in object. Okay. So here we have got the keys array. From that, we are whatever the unique keys we have, right? So that we have pushed to this group element, okay, in this array. So whatever the unique duplicate values or unique keys we have, so that we have extracted and put it into this array. Let's debug again that. So again, like those who are fresher now, it will get or 0 to 2 year experience also now, it is hard for you because this kind of task will be asked only if like 4 to 5 above experience. Okay. But you might learn like how do we extract the keys from the objects using this method. So this will be helpful to you also. So on click of this. So first for loop is just to get the unique keys, whatever we have. So here we have got, no, in this group element, we have got P, S, D. And this check is just to check, like if element is already there, we are not pushing it again. So that's why the undefined check is there. Okay. So after this, we have got the unique element that is PSD. Okay. From the element, right? After that, we are again using for loop on this array, whatever the unique element starting character we have got from the keys array. Then over here, we are trying to find how many properties are there which are starting with the particular character. Like with P dot starting, we have got three elements. So P dot data 1, P dot data 3, P dot data 3, right? So now we know like these three we have got. So we had to create a proper array of object which we can iterate on the HTML, right? So for that we have created an object which have group key and sub item. So in group key, like whatever the unique key, that is P, because inside this P is the unique, na? So this is like parent property and these are the child properties. Okay. This kind of structure now mostly followed in the e-commerce application. I will explain like how this kind of object you will find in e-commerce application. Let me just complete this. So here we have created an object where we are in group key, we are putting P, okay, whatever the unique characters we have, and sub item we are initialized with empty. Then whatever the element, starting element we have, right? We have got array over here. Like how many elements are there with starting P dot. So in that on that array, we are using a for loop, and from that object, we are extracting the value. Okay. Sorry, we didn't add it. Let me just run it again. So here P dot, and we need the, because in element we have got S dot data 1, S dot data 2, but we just need a value after the dot. So that's why we have used slice. So from starting 2 means S dot, first two character it has removed. After that, whatever the characters we have, that we have got in the key name. So this key name, now we have to create an object also where key is also dynamic. So that's why dynamic key, we can create it like this object. We can put it a square bracket and inside that we can provide the key. So now our object will be dynamic. And from this object, we have to get the value which is over there in the this element s dot data 1. So whatever the value we have in element dot data s dot data 1, this value s1 we will get it. So here you can see in sub item we have got data 1 and the value, whatever value we have under s dot data 1 in the object. So that we have pushing into the sub item. Then finally, after this for loop, we are actually pushing this object to our array that we are going to use as a final array. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so now this is just got iterated because we didn't clear the array. So you can see the output. Okay, now let me show you how this kind of object is actually helpful, or this is not a made up. Okay, in every product based application, you are going to find this kind of object. Again, like advanced version, you will get it, but see, if your application is normal CRUD operation, right? So it's not like having something dynamic you and not in a very deep now. So you will find object like this key value pair data. It's very easy. What complications you will have in inner object, you will have it. That's it. But if your application is handling very complex data, everything is dynamic. So you will find this kind of thing. Not this, but key values. Keys are also dynamic. You won't find, let's say we make an API call, right? What we do normally, whatever the data we get from the API call, we bind it directly using assuming that this key is going to be there. But there are so many APIs where keys are also dynamic. Sometimes you will get two keys, sometimes you will get five keys in array of object. You will get two keys array. Sometimes you will get five keys, five property field object also. So in that also you need to write your code by using that object dot end keys. You need to find the key, then you iterate first for loop on the keys, then you extract the values. So this object dot keys is very helpful to get the keys. Whenever keys are dynamic, so this will be your solution to get the unique keys. Okay, let's check a Flipkart. Then I will showcase you this kind of object, why, where it is helpful. So let's open a mobile first. Let's open an iPhone. Then let's go to TV and let's open a TV. Let's open this one full. Okay. Now just pay attention. In this mobile iPhone, so here you can see highlights. We have got 128 GB ROM, something retina display, camera duration, this thing. Okay. Now, same thing. If you go to the washing machine, here you can see in highlights, we have got something different, right? Again, key value pair data. Let me show you. See, specification general, brand, model name, function type, energy rating, washing capacity. Now, energy rating won't be there na, in case of mobile. Here you can see all the field. See, these are the keys are totally different and values are different. You're getting it? So there are application, mainly it will be followed in the product based application where these kind of keys are also dynamic and values is also dynamic, right? So in traditional application, these keys are not dynamic, but when you are working in a product based application, keys will also be dynamic. So if you have got, if you anyone has worked on the e-commerce application, so they will understand. And again, e-commerce application is like where different products are hosted. It's not like, let's say you are creating a e-commerce application just to sell mobile. So like properties are constant na, for mobile. It can be values can be different, like company can be different, but all are mobile. So properties name will be static. So there you will get all these key names static. But e-commerce application which is hosting all different type of products, all different type of products will have different characteristics or properties, right? So here keys are also dynamic. So this kind of structure you get to find in an e-commerce application where keys are also dynamic. And if you have to group, so this kind of object, let's say RAM kind of, again, this same object we can create with for product also, for group with grouping also. Okay, clear everyone? So was it too high? Again, there are so many other approaches also. We can reduce this code also. Okay. Anyone else has any question? Yeah, Murli.
Also, in that question we missed that there should be a no include with the dot means at line number 31. We need to push the data to that a new list.
Right.
It is like
This now?
no.
Hmm.
Line number uh, go top little bit. Yeah, line number 31. If there should be a no element in that element, there should be a no dot means it should be probably like contact is there. So we need to push that data also.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah. So these two
the
field, like,
contact. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
these were very, it was mentioned like these are the static, this will come, but these are dynamic. So dynamic field will come like with this. So that's why to exclude this, I have added this dot just to exclude this. If we don't have now, so we didn't need this also. Just this will be enough. But just we need to exclude these two things. That's why we had written this kind of logic. That's it. If this was not there, if it was just for the dynamic field now, we don't need this. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only Murli got it or anyone else also got it. I know it's little bit confusing, and if you don't have that much experience, you won't be able to imagine this also. But trust me, there are again like some days back I asked, right? What was that regarding Wipro? So Wipro only, like anyone has given the machine test of Wipro. So one of my friend was giving. So what he got, let me just open a notepad. So array was like that, where we have parent and the sub items. So let me just create it. Let's say menu items were there. They wanted a dynamic menu. Okay. So here object was there, title, let's say home is there, and sub items, menu name, home, let's say home one. This is one menu, two menu, second menu, third menu, like this. You just format. This is first menu. Okay. Then second menu, let's say this is about. In about, again, we will have child menu as about one, about two, about three. Okay. Then we will have contact. Contact doesn't have any sub item. Let me just align it properly. So see, this was the object given in that machine test. Okay. Now the task was very simple. In the Angular only, he has to do it. So we need to create a menu. UI was not first priority. Just dynamic should be there. So we need to display the menus. So this will be my menu. So here, let's say we have this home over here. If in the home tab, in this home menu, we have the sub item, then we need to have a expand button over here. Condition was if it has a sub menu. And on click of expand, we need to display the menus we have in home. Home 1, home 2, home 3. Then again we have second menu, that is about. Then we will have again like about has the sub menu, so we will have expand button. Then we will have about 1, about 2, and then the contact one. Contact doesn't have any sub menus, only contact button. So understood? So this was a machine test, but there were test cases also written for this. So that was the machine test I asked. So in Wipro, if anyone is appearing, so make sure you have this example ready. Test cases are very simple. You have to show the dynamic menus. Home should be dynamic, and in home, if we have sub item, this expand button should be visible. Again, one more like If I click on the expand of home, only at a time one expand menu will be there. If I click on expand of home, only this will open. And again, if I click on the expand of about, this should be closed. So at a time, only one menu should be in the expandable mode. That was again one more scenario. So this is very famous, okay? Clear? So these are kind of the various machine tests are there taking place nowadays. So make sure, because interview calls are very less. So whatever companies are hiring, they are recruiting very, strategy is very different now. So they are looking for the person who really has a technical depth. He's good with logical scenarios, because logic is what we can showcase, right? So make sure you are trying to find these different kind of question. Make sure you make try to work on it at least. Okay, if you know some of this kind of scenario, you can forward it to me. We can together find out a solution for that. Okay. Yeah, so anyone again have any question?